Hi everyone, uh, welcome and good morning in the session. Today also we have Sachin on the talk on acceptance. So acceptance is a very important concept in approximately all walks of life, and in the uh, and it it becomes very important concept when it comes to स्टैमरिंग सो आज हम लोग एक्सेप्टेंस के बारे में काफ़ी बात करेंगे हम लोग इसके बारे में जानेंगे कि ये क्या है और इसको हम लोग अपनी ज़िंदगी में कैसे अपनी ज़िंदगी का कैसे पार्ट बना सकते हैं सो ओवर टू यू सचिन सो सचिन हम लोग हमेशा एक्सेप्टेंस के बारे में बात करते हैं कि जब भी हमें अपने स्टैमरिंग के बारे में काम करना है तो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट जो है वो है एक्सेप्टेंस सो एक्सेप्टेंस क्या है और एट द वेरी बेसिक लेवल आप इसको कैसे डिफाइन करेंगे
Thank you, Abhinav. I'm very happy that you said that acceptance is a very important part of almost every aspect of life, and it's not perhaps right to limit it only to stammering dimension of our lives. Coming to a very basic definition of acceptance, as far as I have been able to understand, acceptance is accepting means accepting means accepting and acknowledging things as they are. And by things, I mean both internal things and external things. So, for example, if you have given me a beautiful cup, if you have given me a very nice cup of tea, this is the external event. I should acknowledge it and say, Abhinav, this was a wonderful treat. If I go to a beautiful mountain resort, if I see a beautiful sunrise or sunset, I should be able to acknowledge it and say, what a beautiful sunset. In the same way, it's also about accepting the internal things. For example, if I am not very happy with something, I should be able to say that look, I'm not very happy with this arrangement. I must find something else. So accepting things as they are, both externally and internally, and acknowledging them is my definition of acceptance. And I would like to illustrate this by giving a very simple example. Suppose I visit you, and suppose I'm feeling very thirsty. I'm dying for a drop of water. And suppose you say, Sachin, will you have something? At this point, should I not say that, yes, give me a glass of water? Or should I deny this need under some misplaced notion of propriety? Misplaced notion of propriety, thinking, how can I accept anything from Abhinav? I have just met him. He is my junior. How can I, in the very first meeting, say, I'm hungry, give me something to eat?
Interesting.
So this kind of misplaced sense of what is proper, what is not proper, creates all kind of internal problem, and some people actually suffer a lot because of this. They're having they're sitting in the middle of a meeting, and they are having the urge to go to restroom.
Yep.
They've got two options. They can simply stand up and say, excuse me, got to go to restroom. At the worst, what will happen? Boss probably will say, you always get this problem when we are in the middle of something important.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, this also is quite possible that if you hold on to it, there may be a little accident.
Yeah.
So it's quite natural and quite possible that you get up and say, excuse me, I've got to go to restroom and I'll be back. So in the same way, stammering creates certain issues which we can either accept or deny under this false notion of what is proper and what is not proper. Living in society, living with other human beings, we have developed an elaborate system of what is acceptable, what is not acceptable, what is acceptable to social norms in a given situation,
Mm-hmm.
in a given company.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a pretty complex kind of system of uh, 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 etiquette, protocol, rules. Sometimes you must have seen that men can crack all kind of jokes, but if there are children around, they say, "Hey, we have got family around." So then they have a very different kind of jokes. So this problem arises because we are trying to please ourselves as well as the society.
Mm-hmm.
And when one party exceeds or plays a very excessive role, then we run into all kind of problems. So basically, we have to ask ourselves that to what extent am I willing to compromise
Mm-hmm.
or suffer,
Mm-hmm.
and to what purpose? By keeping quiet, whom am I trying to please, and to what purpose? So these kind of questions we need to ask.
Mm-hmm.
So uh, very often what happens that people in TISA, I remember some early encounters that some people came and they said, I browsed your blog, I checked out your website, and then I said, no, it is not for me. Because TISA is talking about acceptance. And if I accept stammering, then what is there left to do?
Yeah. Yeah.
If I accept stammering, it means मैंने हथियार डाल दिए हैं.
Mm-hmm.
तो ये तो कोई जीवन नहीं हुआ कि मैं अपनी मुश्किलों से हार मान लूं. तो ये गलत अप्रोच है ये.
Mm-hmm.
And then they went away.
Yeah.
But this reminds me of a very funny incident from my own childhood. When I was a child, I used to hear this line in Hanuman Chalisa, and I was only a child, so maybe my command over the language was not very good. So I'll hear this line, "Hriday cheer ke Ram siya." So then I will immediately say, "Oh my God, हनुमान जी ने राम सिया का हृदय चीर दिया. ऐसा क्यों किया उन्होंने?"
Mm-hmm.
After some months, I realized that there's another half to that sentence. हृदय चीर के राम सिया का दर्शन दिया कराए.
Mm-hmm.
So when I understood the second line, then the whole thing fell into place. Uh, that he did not, उन्होंने राम और सिया का हृदय नहीं चीरा, उन्होंने अपना हृदय चीर के राम और सिया का दर्शन कराया. So in the same way, many people who come to TISA, they ignore the rest of the message. And the complete message is this: that accept stammering, but don't accept poor communication.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important to note that we are using word communication.
Mm-hmm.
We are not saying accept stammering, but don't accept disfluency.
Okay.
We are not saying this. We are saying accept stammering, but don't accept poor communication.
True.
Because in the day-to-day life, what matters is communication. Whether you can commune with other person, whether you can convey the meaning, whether you can motivate the other person to understand what you have said and then implement it in their lives. That is the real crux.
Yeah.
So, so therefore we say that accept stammering, because what other choice do you have?
Mm-hmm.
But don't accept poor communication. Try to improve your communication whichever way. Even if by writing you can convey a great idea, do that. Because writing also is a way of communication.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I remember when I was in class 10, I remember, of course, I was stammering helplessly. But in my own head, I was carrying this image that no, I'm not a stammerer. I was trying to, hang on to that image that I'm a normal person, whatever normal meant. But I was hell bent upon thinking of myself as a normal person.
Mm-hmm.
And so therefore, one day in our biology class, our teacher said, "Satyendra, do you stammer?" I got up and very fluently I said, "No, sir." My eyes did not blink. I did not hesitate. I simply said, "No, sir." So denying stammering is like this. At that moment, I had a sense of victory, but afterwards I realized that I was only fooling myself.
Mm-hmm.
And people did not think better of me for that. People did not say, oh, wonderful. No, they thought that what a liar he is. Day in and day out, we see he is stammering, but he is denying it. So many of us, even when we grow up, we keep on denying stammering in subtler ways, in more and more subtle ways, like saying, no, I don't stammer, I just hesitate a little.
Mm-hmm.
Or we will say, no, no, I don't stammer. Sometimes I have trouble recalling words.
Yeah.
Then I have seen some other people who will try to minimize or trivialize their stammering by saying, no, no, I don't stammer. I just stammer in home, not in office. It's not a problem for me.
Different kind of excuses to actually.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, to avoid saying
Mm-hmm.
I stammer, to avoid saying these two words,
Mm-hmm.
they will say many more words to beat around the bush.
Mm-hmm.
And by doing this, how do you think they come across to the other person?
Mm-hmm.
Our audience naturally is initially, our audience is a little bit confused. Is Sachin suffering memory loss? Is Sachin a shy person?
Or an
Is
introvert.
Sachin does Sachin hesitate because he lives in a small place like Harvardpur?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the reason?
Mm-hmm.
While all these problems can be solved by saying that, look, I sometimes stammer,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes stammer is is a statement of facts. A
Mm-hmm.
stammerer does not stammer every time,
Yeah.
on every word,
Mm-hmm.
all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He stammers on only some words, maybe 20% of the words,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what is wrong in saying that I sometimes stammer?
Mm-hmm.
But because we are so frightened of
Mm-hmm.
stammering and everything which goes with it,
Mm-hmm.
we have been we have become so used to living with that fear
Mm-hmm.
that we prefer to say something else rather than saying I stammer.
Mm-hmm.
And by doing this, we are confusing our audience,
Mm-hmm.
and we are creating a kind of rift in our own personality. I mean, maybe it is not very scientific to say, but I would say we are becoming a schizophrenic.
Mm-hmm.
Our personality is getting divided,
Mm-hmm.
getting twisted.
Mm-hmm.
We are creating all kind of rift inside our psyche, inside our consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Because now, earlier we were only stammerers. Now we have to live so many other personalities. I am a shy person. I hesitate. I sometimes have difficulty recalling words.
Mm-hmm.
I don't much care for human company.
Yeah.
I like only books. So this is how we become more and more complex person.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the problem.
Yeah.
What is your take on acceptance, Abhinav?
So, uh, as per me, acceptance is just accepting the way you are. I mean, it maybe on stammering front, or you may have some other challenges, or even if we don't have any challenge, the accept yourself the way you are. If you stammer, if you don't stammer, if you have some other kind of psychological challenges, or physical challenges. So apart from, see, so as a concept, I got introduced to acceptance somewhere in 2012 when I attended my very first national conference. And even after knowing it in 2012, it took me a lot of time to understand the deeper meaning of acceptance, that no matter what happens, I should accept myself the way I am, and it brought a lot of peace into me. That so what I mean, if I stammer, so
You're right, Abhinav. What you said was very true. That acceptance is more like a long process, like a journey,
yeah.
rather than a destination. It's not like a diploma that once you work very hard, you get your diploma or your BTech,
Yeah.
and then you're a BTech for rest of your life. Nobody can take
Yeah.
it away.
Yeah.
It's not like that. Acceptance is a lifelong journey. Even in my case, I'm still discovering many aspects of my life which I was not comfortable with,
Yeah.
and only now I am accepting them, talking about them, writing about them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and more I'm doing this, I'm feeling more and more integrated
Yeah.
kind of person. So,
I mean,
uh,
I would just like to explain in just one sentence acceptance for me. I feel more like I'm at a complete peace with myself. No, I'm not angry with myself the way I am. I mean, I am what I am. So yeah, I'm at
yeah,
complete peace with myself. So, as a newbie, someone who joins our community or the self help group for the first time, when he gets introduced with the concept of acceptance, he may have various questions in his mind, like I want to work on my stammering by acceptance. What kind of benefits will I get by accepting that I stammer? So, what are your uh, takes on the same? As a newbie, how it helps me if I just start accepting uh, stammering?
yeah. I would say that that some people, many newbies, many new people who join TISA, they have got this question, and sometimes they've got this great doubt also. I mean, the way we just discussed that when we accept ourselves totally, it brings a sense of peace. Their objection, their immediate objection would be, okay, so when you are at peace, why would you want to change anything? Then
Yeah,
that means that you will continue stammering for the rest of your life. But that is a very superficial understanding of the concept.
yeah, yeah.
Why? I'll tell you. And I'll give you a nice example also, a day-to-day example also. There are four things which are interconnected, interlinked, four concepts. One is denial,
Mm,
when we deny something,
yeah,
that it doesn't exist.
yeah,
Like ostrich, we bury our head in the sand
mm,
and say there's no problem.
mm,
Other is acceptance, that we accept things as they are. Third is resignation. Resignation means being resigned to the state in which you are.
yeah, yeah,
Like, I mean, some people say that I'm so helpless, I'm resigned to my fate. What can I do now? Now I'll just wait for some messiah
yeah,
or some prophet or some therapist or some great friend to come and help me, rescue me. And the fourth is self effort, denial, acceptance, resignation, and self effort. These four concepts are pretty close, and sometimes they get mistaken for each other. For example, um, acceptance can be can be confused with resignation.
mm, yeah,
Resignation can also be sometimes confused with denial. So, how I would like to give an example. Suppose I and you
mm,
are traveling in a car.
yeah,
I am driving and you are sitting in the back seat. And we have left the town and we are in the middle of two cities. It's a long stretch. There's no habitation, no workshops, nothing. And suppose you say, Sachin, I hear funny noises from the right side or from the left side of the
mm,
car.
okay,
And suppose you say, maybe we have got a flat tire
mm,
or the pressure is low.
yeah,
Now, suppose I say, नहीं 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 कुछ नहीं ऐसा कुछ नहीं 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 you're just imagining things. We'll just carry on driving happily. So, how would you interpret my answer? My refusal to entertain any doubt,
yeah.
my refusal to accept your fear. How would you interpret it? And what could be the reasons behind it? Make a guess.
Probably I just don't want to be in a situation where I find out that something is wrong with my car, or
Yes,
probably.
exactly, exactly, exactly. So my mind will say, my subconscious mind will say, there is no workshop as far as you can see. We are away from any town for by hundreds of kilometers,
Mm,
and I've checked my car in the morning.
mm,
And so, how can anything be wrong with this?
yeah,
Maybe Abhinav is just imagining things.
mm, yeah,
So, this is denial. This is
mm,
denial. And
mm,
denial sometimes can appear very logical.
mm,
Like in this case. In this case, I'm the driver, it's my car. And so, I've got a very clear logic. When we started in the morning, everything was fine. So, how can we have a flat tire? Second logic would be when there are no workshop for miles, what's the point in getting out of the car and looking at a flat tire and then folding our head? Let us keep on driving the way we are driving. Hmm? Let's keep on driving the way we are driving and let's keep on hoping for the best.
yeah,
So this is a very good example of denial,
mm,
right? Now, what is acceptance? Acceptance is just one step away from this, which simply means that you say, Sachin, I hear funny noises from the left side. Maybe pressure is low or we've got a flat tire.
yeah,
We stop the car, we get out of the car, we take a turn around the car and we look at the tire
mm,
and we say, oh yes, the pressure is low. And because of that, it's making this funny noise.
yeah,
And if we continue like this, we can even run into some accident because of tire bursting or low pressure or whatever.
mm,
So this is acceptance, that I am accepting that there is something wrong with my car.
mm,
This is only acceptance, right?
yeah,
And then naturally, and then comes the self effort that you say there is no workshop for miles,
yeah,
right?
mm,
And then I say, sorry, I did not bring a stepney.
mhm,
And then you say, I can feel something under my foot.
mm,
What is this? Oh, it's the foot pump.
mm,
Let's take the foot pump out
mm,
and put some air in this tire
mm,
till it can reach a workshop.
yeah, yeah,
This is self effort. Yeah, right. And nobody is stopping you or me from doing that.
mm, mm,
Right? We are away from workshop. We are away from cities. We are away from garage. I've not brought a stepney, but nobody is stopping us from helping ourselves.
true. Mm,
So we push the car to one side and we use the foot pump.
mhm,
I know one case where this young man who was driving a bike had similar problem.
mm,
So and he didn't even have a foot pump. So what he did, he opened the tire somehow and he put all kind of cloth, घास, फूस, कूड़ा, जो कुछ उसे मिला, whatever he could lay his hand on, he put it on his tire and
mm,
put it back
mm,
and tried to drive home very slowly.
mm,
So this is self-effort. Nobody is stopping us from using our own intelligence to help ourselves.
yeah,
And I had a very senior friend. He had a very rather crude way of uh, saying this. He used to say, "If you know how to produce a baby, you know everything else."
okay.
Whenever somebody said, "I don't know how to do this. I'm so sorry. I was waiting for so and so," he
Mm,
would say, "If you know how to produce a baby, you know everything else."
okay.
In other words, if you know one thing, you know everything else.
Mm,
Nobody can say that I've done a BTech, but I don't know how to help myself with my stammering.
mm, 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 mm,
Nobody can say that I've done graduation, I'm a BCom, but I don't know how to help myself where stammering is concerned.
mm, mm, mm,
I don't know how to go on Google and find some reasonable, good self-help things.
mm,
I don't know how to differentiate between the two websites, one which is out to rob me of my money and one which is out to help me selflessly.
yeah.
When
Mm,
people say, I've been taken for a ride,
mm,
there's something wrong.
mm, mm,
My friend will say, if you know one thing, you know everything else.
yeah.
So, what he's trying to say that each one of us has the power within to help ourselves.
True. Mm.
right?
Yeah.
But we don't use it. We find it much more convenient to phone a garage and then wait there for 4 hours, waiting for a pickup truck.
Mm-hmm.
So, so this is self effort. This is acceptance. And now, second thing is fourth thing is resignation. Another approach could be that where you say, Sachin, I am hearing these funny sounds from the left side of the car, and I say, अच्छा, चलो ब्रेक लगा के मैं रोकता हूँ. Then both of us we come out,
Mm-hmm.
and then I say,
Sachin, I think you are on the mute. Sachin, I think you are on the mute.
तो वेट
तो वहाँ पे बैठे रहते हैं.
Hmm.
So neither you nor me is trying to look for that foot pump which is there in the car, but we don't
Sachin,
remember.
you were on the mute. So last couple of sentences, if you can just say it again. Yeah.
Ah, yes, yes, yes. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was talking about resignation.
Yeah.
So when you say that this funny sound, I stop the car. Both of us come out of the car and we take a look and we find that there's a flat tire.
Mm.
And then I say, I'm so sorry, I did not bring a stepney. And then you say, I can Google, but I see there's no workshop anywhere close by.
Yeah.
And then both of us sit by the side of the road.
Hmm.
None of us tries to find out that inside the car there is a foot pump
Yeah. Yeah.
lying in one corner.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So
Yeah.
this is resignation. When we resign ourselves to the fate,
Mm-hmm.
when we don't try to help ourselves, that is resignation.
Mm-hmm.
When we deny the problem, that is denial. When we accept the problem and do nothing about it, that is resignation.
Mm-hmm.
And when we accept the problem and do something about it on our own, using our own intelligence and initiative, that is self-effort.
Yeah.
So these four concepts, sometimes people skip one, jump onto the other, emphasize one, ignore the other, and therefore they run into problems. But actually, it's all very simple.
Yeah.
And it is not something which I have discovered, or it is not something which TISA has discovered.
Mm.
It has been around from the beginning of, of this earth. For example, there's a book which we promote a lot in our MOOC. It's called My Silent Pause. This is the story, the biography of an Englishman. Actually, he was from Scotland, and he was a stammerer. And this is about 100 years old story. No therapist, nothing. But on his own, he kept on trying to study his problem and come up with a solution. And the solution he came up with was that when he cannot speak, then he should simply be quiet and not struggle. And he called it my silent pause. He will stop and he will wait for the other person to look at him. And when the eye contact will meet, and when he's ready, he'll start talking again.
Yeah.
And this is how he literally solved his problem of communication.
Mm-hmm.
And he rose in his department. He was working in animal husbandry
Mm-hmm.
department. So he got promotions, he did everything.
Yeah.
So this is what TISA is trying to say, that instead of denying the problem, we should stop the car, get out of the car, and look at the tire for God's sake.
Mm-hmm.
Let us just look at it.
Yeah.
कि
Yeah.
किस हालत में है टायर,
True.
एकदम फ्लैट है, फट गया है. And then do whatever we can do. We may not have a stepney, we may have a foot pump. If we don't have a foot pump or a stepney, then we can wave a passerby,
Yeah.
request them to help, borrow a stepney from them, take their address, give them some money or whatever. There are billions of things which people can do if they make up their mind to help themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But if they have outsourced everything, then probably they'll simply wait that some therapist, some expert, some great motivator will come and take charge of my life and change it forever.
Or some medicine, some magic pill will come and
Right.
yeah.
Right. So basically, in the name of acceptance, what I want people to accept is only those things which are true. It is not that that TISA is dictating to them that thou shall accept that you stammer. TISA is not giving any commandment.
Mm-hmm.
TISA is only saying whatever is happening to you, accept it.
Yeah.
So if you're having difficulty saying sometimes certain words, say that I sometimes stammer.
Yeah.
Second thing, I request people to consider is that stammering sometimes is no issue at all, but sometimes it's a big deal. As we know that even people who are in TISA,
Yeah.
sometimes they are very regular in their meetings, in their hangouts, and then for months, sometimes they are lying quiet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what it means is that what it means is this, that stammering is no big deal, but sometimes it does become a big deal. So accept that also, that stammering sometimes is a big issue for me.
Mm-hmm. I'm
So
sorry, I'm confused. Can you please explain
uh,
it more? So
I'll explain. I'll explain.
earlier you said that stammering sometimes some times is okay, but then you said that stammering at sometimes
Huh.
big issue. So yeah.
Yes, yes. Hold on, Abhinav, just for a second.
Yeah.
Uh, हिमांशु क्या बात है? Yes, Abhinav. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. What I was saying,
Mm-hmm.
that many of us try to deny the stammering by saying, yes, I stammer, but it's not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But the problem is that they are suffering,
Mm-hmm.
but they are not accepting.
Sure. Sure.
I'll just have some water.
Sure. 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 Sure.
So are we ready to go?
Yeah.
So what I was saying was this, that sometimes we deny the severity of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
We say that, yes, I stammer, but it's not a big deal. And therefore, I'm not doing anything about it.
Oh.
While the fact is just the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
It is a big problem. It is affecting our education. It is affecting our educational choices, academic choices. It is affecting our work. It's affecting our interviews. But we are dusting it under the carpet and saying,
Yeah.
no, no, it's not a big deal.
We are
So
just.
this also is
Mm-hmm.
this also is a denial, and this also needs to go out of the window.
Mm-hmm.
Here also we need to say it's a big problem for me, and I must do something about it,
Mm-hmm.
rather than minimizing the problem
Mm-hmm.
or portraying it in a very different light.
Yeah.
That it is not an issue for me.
Yeah.
Other thing which people need to accept is this, that if whatever method they have used so far, if that is not working, they should be willing to say that my approaches have not helped me. They have
Mm-hmm.
not worked.
Yeah.
You know, as Einstein said that you keep on doing the same thing but expect different result.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you call madness.
Yeah.
And many people in the stammering arena have made this mistake. They keep on doing the same thing again and again and again, and they keep on hoping that maybe next time I'll get different results.
Yeah.
So they will keep on trying this
Yeah.
technique, this therapy, that therapy, but they will not talk about acceptance because they're so scared of acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got this funny idea that if I keep on doing this thing again and again, maybe fourth time it will work. I come across so many people who who have been to Mehar, who have been to Amer, who have been to Bangalore, who have been to all these places, not once, but sometimes three times, four times,
Mm-hmm.
and they're still facing problem. And when I ask them, so what are you planning to do? Probably they are going back to the same therapist, or they'll change the therapist and try something else.
Yeah.
But they will never approach a radical approach like acceptance,
Mm-hmm.
talking to strangers,
Mm-hmm.
conducting stammering interviews, making cold calls to strangers, and actually stammering on phone. They don't want to touch these things.
Mm-hmm.
So this also is denial, and this also needs to be discarded.
Yeah.
Other thing is this, that other thing which we need to accept is this, that at present, there's no universal known cure for stammering.
Yeah.
We have to accept this fact.
Mm-hmm.
The way we are accepting about corona, the way government is saying that there's no vaccine for corona, so don't take any risk.
Mm-hmm.
In the same way, we stammerer need to say to ourselves that there's no universal known cure for stammering.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But we can learn how to manage our stammering if we have got a little courage
Mm-hmm.
to confront it.
Yeah.
So this is because as long as you don't accept these things,
Mm-hmm.
you'll keep on wasting your money.
Mm-hmm.
Every 6 months, there's a there's a there's an American saying, English saying that a sucker is born every second in this country.
Mm-hmm.
By sucker they mean a fool
Yeah. Yeah.
who is willing to spend his money. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so same thing happens in the stammering field also, that every day a clever person is born who puts up a website and who says that earlier people did not know what causes stammering,
Mm-hmm.
but the latest research shows that it is because of this, and I'm offering a cure for that, and it takes only 50,000.
Yeah.
So every 6 months, every 2 months, you come up with a website like this or a program like that, and people are charging money right, left, and center.
Mm-hmm.
And because you've got this belief, because you do not accept that stammering has got no cure, you will keep on trying each one of these,
Mm-hmm.
and your life will become like like a shamshan of therapies. I
Yeah.
have done this, I have done that. Actually, some people have sent me emails like this, that so far I've done 27 therapies.
Mm-hmm.
I've done past life regression, I've done hypnotherapy, I've done this, I've done that. मैंने चांदी की जीप भी चढ़ाई है, मैंने ये भी किया है, मैंने वो भी किया, मैंने सब कुछ किया है,
Mm-hmm.
बस एक चीज नहीं किया है,
Mm-hmm.
accepting your stammering and confronting it and improving your communication. So these are the things which people need to accept.
Yeah.
And then there's
I
the last thing.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And the last thing which I want people to accept is
Mm-hmm.
that they have the power here
Mm-hmm.
to deal with any problem of life, including stammering.
Mm-hmm.
This they must believe in themselves. If they don't believe in themselves, I don't see very much happening in their life.
Yeah.
Vivekananda also said this thing, that a man who doesn't believe in himself,
Mm-hmm.
his belief in gods is not going to bear any fruit. If you do not believe in yourself, you can touch yourself, you can feel yourself, you get up every day with the same body. If you do not trust your own self, what is the meaning of believing in things which you have not seen?
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, he also used to say that having faith in yourself is the number one requirement for anything, any worldly or spiritual pursuit. Whether you want to find God, or whether you want to find success in the world, everything depends only on this number one thing. You must have faith in yourself.
Yeah.
And this is what the TISA is trying to promote, that people have got all the resources inside them.
Mm-hmm.
They've got all the powers inside them. They've got all the ingenuity, intelligence,
Mm-hmm.
initiative inside them. They don't have to, go through the 2000 YouTube videos to get inspired, to get into action mode. I've seen many people do that. Every morning they look at a video. Why? To get some inspiration. And how long does that inspiration last? Hardly half an hour or 1 hour in the day. By evening, they're back to their same old self, because they're relying on an external resource. So this is one thing which I want to say. So coming there, you were asking something.
Yeah.
Please carry on.
I would like to take a little bit diversion here from stammering. So I know that you have also worked in a lot of social spaces. So as per you, I mean, Have you seen any other examples of acceptance in your surroundings? I mean, in your social work, I mean, which you have done any incident or any example? I mean, where you have seen that someone has incorporated acceptance to such a level that I mean, he is now in uh, in uh, in peace with himself or herself, and he's also trying to find out the solutions of his problems. Yeah.
I would like to share one real life example. One real life example. I will not mention the names to preserve the privacy of people involved. But a couple staying close to my home, this couple was working in a hospital, and their first son uh, did not smile after birth for quite some months. Till 6 months, 7 months, he did not smile. And because I had I had worked with small children in past, so they consulted me. So I looked at the child. I said, his milestones are delayed. He was a son, and so I said, you should better consult a developmental pediatrician, people who really study these things. So they consulted some other doctors also, some other developmental pediatricians, and everybody said that milestones of this child are delayed, and probably his brain is affected. But they did not give hope for about 2 years, 2 to 3 years. They kept on going from one doctor to another, this doctor, that doctor, this investigation, that investigation. They tried everything. And it was only after about 2.5 years they accepted that the child has got cerebral palsy.
Okay.
Even though all these doctors had said that probably this is a case of cerebral palsy, probably when this child was being born, his brain suffered from lack of oxygen, and the damage is permanent. But but it was the first son, and so both of them were, so they kept on fighting against this diagnosis. They kept on praying also. They are devout Christians, so they kept praying, and they kept on hoping for a miracle very sincerely. So it was only after about 2.5 years that they accepted that, okay, my child has got cerebral palsy. Probably he will never, never, never become a normal person.
Yeah.
He will always need support. He will always need special care, special education. And and then they stopped going to the doctors. And then they did a very beautiful thing, a very wonderful thing. And that is, they started a center for a daycare center for children with cerebral palsy and other learning disabilities like autism. And because they told me afterwards, they said that we discovered that even though we are healthcare professionals, we have suffered so much because of a child like this. How much more common people must be suffering if they've got a children like this? So therefore we decided, why don't we help them while we are seeking help for ourselves?
Yeah.
So they raised some funds from Western countries, from friends, from anybody who was willing, and with the fund they started a daycare center for such children, and this center was called Anugrah because their child was named Anugrah. So this center became Anugrah Daycare Center, and today like 30-35 children from the nearby villages, they are brought there, and they are taken care of for 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours for free. So this is a good example of acceptance, which has not stopped at my issue, my problem, but has included other people also affected by the same thing, and has today has become a beautiful center where even other people come to learn how to deal with the autistic child. They've got a good team. A psychologist is there, special educators are there. All this happened because a mother and father,
Yeah.
after running around from pillar to post for 2.5 hours, they accepted that their child has got a permanent disability.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He will never be cured.
Yeah.
and they accepted that, and then from there they took off and did a wonderful thing, created an institution for other people. So this is what I always want to say, that acceptance is not resignation. Acceptance does not equal resignation.
Yeah.
Acceptance is opening the inner chamber, which has got all the resources to help yourself and also to help others,
Yeah.
which has got all, all the initiative, all the ingenuity, intelligence,
Yeah.
problem solving skills. Everything is there.
Yeah.
And we can use that and help ourselves and others also. This is what TISA is also trying to do in its own small way.
Yeah. Inspiring. Yeah. So, I mean, until we help uh, ourselves first, we will not be able to offer help to anyone else. So,
I would like to, have a little bit of, funny rejoinder to that.
yeah.
Sometimes when you start helping others, ignoring your own self, you automatically get helped. How does this happen in stammering particularly? I know many cases who have told me that when I started coordinating this SHG in my town, I realized that I was doing many things which were benefiting me uh, uh, by themselves. Like I was calling all the people, all the members, ki Sunday ko ठीक 10 बजे पहुंच जाना. I was planning, I was communicating, I was talking, I was coming up with exercises, and all this was helping me. Because actually, when they started with this wonderful idea that I am going to help others. I am running a self-help group for them.
Yeah. Some kind of.
And when they started, they found that they were automatically being helped by the process. So sometimes the difference between others and self is not very clear. It's only artificial division. We have been made to think that my interest is different from Abhinav's interest. Because I am different, Abhinav is different. But at a deeper level of consciousness, this difference is only apparent, not real.
Interesting. Yeah. Interesting. Let me give it a more thought about this. Any practical way? I mean, yeah, you would like to young viewers, or not only young, even the experienced ones. Yeah.
Yeah, you are very right that we have to come down now from the clouds to the ground and come up with practical ideas for people. Because I remember one of the common objections coming from newcomers is, I have accepted my stammering. Of course, you don't mean to say that I should stand on the rooftops and with a loudspeaker shout, "मैं हकलाता हूँ." So their objection is, क्या मुझे ये भी करने की जरूरत है कोई? क्या मुझे करना पड़ेगा? क्या मैं अखबार में विज्ञापन दूं कि मैं हकलाता हूँ? Of course, that is not needed. If this question is coming from a place full of fear, full of insecurity, right?
Yeah.
So basically, TISA is not saying you should do this, you should do that. TISA is all TISA is saying that whatever you can do to come out of that state of fear and shame, you should try that. Because all of us are in different situations. Somebody is living in a village, somebody is a student of class 10, somebody has done BTech. So we all are in a different situation. So, but there are certain common things which I can talk about, generally speaking. And standing on rooftop and shouting through a megaphone or speaker is certainly not there in that list. You don't have to give a newspaper ad that hereby I declare that Satendra Srivastava is a confirmed stammerer. You don't have to do that. But there are many other ways which are probably commonly practical. I mean, commonly accessible to people. For example, we can start talking about stammering to ourselves. I remember at one time, I will not say even to myself that I stammer, that I am facing a problem.
Yeah.
that going in a block is a big problem for me. I was not even admitting my own thoughts to myself. So step number one is to let these thoughts come into your consciousness. Instead of burying them in subconscious mind or unconscious mind, let them come out into your conscious mind
Mm,
and let them sort of, hear your own sound कि okay हाँ मैं हकलाता हूँ,
mm,
कभी कभी बहुत ज़्यादा हकलाता हूँ,
mm.
कई बार मैं ब्लॉक में चला जाता हूँ. So step number one is admit to yourself that you stammer and it is a problem for you.
Yeah.
And of course, there are other things also which you should admit, as I said earlier. You should also admit that you've got all the solutions here, right here,
Yeah. Yeah.
right here. You've got all the access to all the problem solving skills, all the help which you are expecting from outside is
Mm,
all here. Accept this also. So let open your consciousness to all these ideas
mm,
instead of hiding yourself and saying, मैं तो नहीं हकलाता, or getting angry. कौन कहता है मैं हकलाता हूँ? दूंगा भी खींच के. So accept that. So let these ideas, pass through your head. Let these ideas come, go, pass and pass through your head. Second step would be that you can talk about it to somebody very close to you or somebody whom you think is less threatening to you. For example, I know one guy. Whenever he'll take his dog for a walk, he will talk to the dog.
yeah. Mm,
Okay, Timmy. So how are you? How are we doing today? My speech is doing okay today, but I stammered on so and so word. He's saying this to his dog.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can talk to your pet dog. You can talk to a lizard on the wall in your room or the flower pot in your room. And then you can gradually start talking to your very closest friends. Ki, hey, Abhinav, last evening what happened? I was ordering chow mein and I could not say chow mein. Just imagine like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, without making it a big thing,
Mm,
just, chatting and you chat about your stammering also.
mm,
Then you can start, you can also try one more thing. If you've got a flair for writing, if you're into writing blogs, writing diary, you can start writing there also about your stammering experiences. So all those emotions and incidents which you have suppressed, denied,
mm,
tried to forget,
mm.
you can let them come out and write in your diary, in your blog,
Yeah.
share with your friends. For many people, these few steps would be enough. But if they want to, if they are more sort of more courageous kind of adventurous kind of people, they can in fact start a blog dedicated to stammering experiences or stammering issues. They can even make a video of themselves where they are stammering and also explaining what stammering is
Yeah.
and how it affects people.
Mm, mm.
Uh, they can try that. Again, if they're more adventurous, they can start a self-help group for people who stammer.
Yeah.
They can go to the local school and find out about children who stammer and put them together in a group and talk about stammering.
Yeah. Yeah.
If their parents,
Mm,
and if their children are studying in some school,
mm,
they can go to the parent teacher meeting
mm.
and their request that give me half an hour. I want to talk about stammering
Yeah.
because it's an issue with my child
Mm, mm.
and I want every teacher to know about it.
Yeah.
You can conduct a session like that. So
Mhm.
there are billions of things which you can do, which can be very creative and which help you as well as they help society.
Yeah. Mhm.
So these are some of the practical ways.
Mhm.
You can join a Telegram group of TISA. There you can talk about stammering. You can make a video and share.
Yeah.
Um, so these are some
Yeah.
of the ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the other, I would say that people should themselves think that how can I be more comfortable with my stammering? What should I do? What can I do?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they should go ahead and do that.
True. Yeah. I mean, in the end, we all have to take some uh, steps at least to accept and overcome the all the challenges. Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah. Great. Great. So at the prima facie, it looks that it's very easy to accept stammering, but
Yes.
it's a very deep concept, and it takes years to probably acceptance in its true sense. Yeah. So why do you think that it's hard to implement or hard to accept. Yeah.
I think it's only because most of us um, are very comfortable in the status quo. I mean, whatever I've done yesterday, if I have a choice, I would like to do the same thing today also.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm doing today, I'll be very happy to continue doing it tomorrow and day after tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, on our own, we don't want to change.
Mm-hmm.
This is the kind of this could be compared with that law of momentum.
Mm-hmm.
You know, stationary things would want to remain stationary,
Mm-hmm.
and moving things will want to continue moving,
Yeah.
driven by their momentum.
Mm-hmm.
So that law of Galileo or whatever, I think that is true in a psychological sense also.
Mm-hmm.
That most of us, even though we are living human beings, we have a psychology of a metal ball.
Mm-hmm.
If it is rolling, it wants to continue rolling. If it is static, it wants to remain static. It doesn't want to do anything different,
Yeah.
right? So even though we are living human beings
Mm-hmm.
with all the potential for change,
Mm-hmm.
invention, creation, but deep inside we are like that metal ball, a heavy metal ball.
Yeah.
And this is why most of us uh, develop or become wise through adversity.
Mm-hmm.
Most people, if you listen to many of these great modern day teachers, Eckhart Tolle and all these people, almost all of them say that at one time my suffering became so bad
Mm-hmm.
that I resigned my job and I was sitting on a park bench for days together.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll get a meal once in 3 days, once
Mm-hmm.
in 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
All of them have went through a suffering.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is a schizophrenia, it's a mental breakdown,
Yeah.
nervous breakdown,
Mm-hmm.
business collapsed,
Mm-hmm.
everything went wrong, world went against them. So all through all this suffering only,
Mm-hmm.
they achieved their inner wisdom.
Yeah.
And so that is the problem with us, that we don't want to change. This is why accepting things are so different, because accepting puts you out on the spot,
Mm-hmm.
and accepting sometimes also creates other problems also. For example, if I have not declared my income
Mm-hmm.
3 years back,
Yeah.
and if I accept it,
Mm-hmm.
income tax may be after me. But I've got a choice. Do I want to live with that kind of fear that every night if there's a knock on the door, I suffer a mini heart attack because I've hidden some income I've not declared in my IT returns?
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to live like that?
Yeah.
Or do I want to once for all take the advantage of a self-declaration scheme? Declare that yes, I've got this income or property and therefore so much tax I'm paying. Do I want to take advantage of that? So most of us will not, take any step unless we are pushed by
Yeah.
our lawyer
Yeah.
or by income tax department.
Yeah.
Same thing here, that many of us, if we can ignore our stammering and carry on with life, we do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's only when some girl dumps us,
Mm-hmm.
or 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 we are rejected in a series of interviews.
Mm-hmm.
Only then we say, I've got to do something now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That is our nature, and that is the given thing. So we have to accept it.
Mm-hmm.
So all Tisa is saying ki after you've been rejected in 10 interviews, at least then please wake up. After you've been rejected by 10 girlfriends, at least then wake up
Mm-hmm. Yep.
instead of going back to sleep again.
Mm-hmm.
This is human nature. We all wake up through painful stimuli.
Yeah. Yeah.
We all wake up only by suffering.
Mm-hmm. True. I mean, so we all are so much in our comfort zone कि it ऐसा हो जाता है कि चल रहा है तो चलता है and then all these excuses that I'm so much occupied in my job, work, family life, this and that. Yeah. So until we have real sufferings, I mean, we will always be in our comfort zone. So,
It reminds me of a line from Guru Nanak.
mm,
Uh, line is, दुख दारू सुख रोग भया। सुख जो है वो रोग है। जब सुख मिलता है तो वो हमारी बीमारी है, और दुख जो है वो दारू यानी दवा है। दुख हमारे लिए दवा है। तो जब दुख आए तो उनका स्वागत करना है, विनम्रता से दिल खोल के उसको समझना है, उसको स्वीकार करना है, और उसे सीख कर आगे बढ़ना है।
हाँ मतलब इन द एंड अगर हमारे पास ये सारी सफरिंग्स होने के बाद भी अगर हम उससे कुछ नहीं सीख पा रहे हैं तो आई डोंट नो कि और क्या स्टिमुली हो सकता है।
मे बी बिगर पेन, बिगर झटका, बिगर इंटरव्यू।
एंड
but
ऑल
but all of us wake up sooner or later. We all wake up. We all wake up. We have to. We have to. There's no choice.
and to all our audience, if you have anything, any questions on acceptance, please feel free to comment your questions on the in the in the comment box. We will be happy to answer more of them. And Sachin, any last word of advice or any last sentence of advice you would like to give to anyone who is on the who is on the path of acceptance?
All I would say that we have this one line कि हकलाओ मगर प्यार से. Somebody from Mumbai, I think he was a lawyer, he added another line to that, which is very, very apt. Line is, और जूझो मत अपने आप से.
Wow.
जूझो मत अपने आप से. Because when we stammer and don't accept it, it's like we are fighting our own self. Stammering is not something out here which we can fight. Sometimes young people say, I am going to beat the shit out of stammering. As if stammering is something outside, which they can beat the shit out. They don't realize that stammering is our own creation. The definition of stammering is it's a anticipatory struggle. You anticipate difficulties and therefore you start struggling in advance. So it is you yourself. So how can you fight yourself? So the saying goes, if I fight my shadow for 1,000 years, who's going to win? No one. So fighting stammering is not the solution. And therefore it's accepting, befriending, and rising above is better. And they say in English that what you resist, persist. What you accept, you overcome. So that's all I want to conclude with. And I want to wish everyone all the best. And I want to say, don't give up. The whole cosmos is with you, supporting you, and helping you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I think that's a very apt line. Jujo mat apne aap se. And on the same note, don't give up. I mean, we all the friends in TISA, I mean, we have worked on the concept of acceptance for so long. It's okay to stammer. We are, I mean, we are not uh, perfect, and just accept the way we are, and uh, start uh, uh, start working on finding out various ways to improve your uh, improve your communication. Yeah, so it's again accept stammering, not poor communication. Great. So thank you so much, Sachin, for this wonderful session on acceptance. And I hope we will continue some more sessions like this. And to all our audience, if you have anything, if you have any other topic or concepts in which you want us uh, to uh, to talk on, feel free to let us know via the comments so that we can include those topics also in the videos. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sachin, once again, and see you.